Welcome back to On Point from the Summerdale Church of Christ. We find ourselves studying through the New Testament now, specifically 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 through 2 Timothy chapter 1. I was told as a young preacher it would be wise for me to read the book of 1 and 2 Timothy and also the book of Titus every single week to help me prepare for ministry. And it not only blesses those that are preparing for ministry, but also those that are in ministry to make sure that we're staying in tune with the will of God and doing what God has commanded us to do. But there's so much meat in these so-called pastoral epistles that's not just intended for Timothy or for the elders at the church at Ephesus. This is also given to the church to read because we as individuals need to know how to, as he says, conduct ourselves in the house of God. We need to learn what to do to be better servants of the Lord on a daily basis. We need to learn how to improve in our worship, which I believe arguably Paul is doing a little bit of that specifically in chapter 2 of the first letter to Timothy. But this section gives us the meat that we need to be able to go out and to serve God better. There are illustrations of what it means to pray better, illustrations of what it means to live in the gospel, and that's the goal of every single New Testament Christian. And I think that's a great way for if you're a young preacher or an elder, read these every single week. But man, what would happen if we read these books every single week? Every single member tried their very best to adhere to the words here. I also point out to you that in chapter 3 of 1 Timothy, there is qualifications for those that want to serve in ministry, for elders and for deacons. And he'll talk a little bit about ministers. He'll get more into that in the second book to Timothy in chapter 4. But there's qualifications that are given. So if you really want to serve God to the fullest of your extent, and you want to do the very best you can for the kingdom, these are some standards that you're going to want to try to strive for, things that you want to see. And it doesn't mean our elders need to be on a pedestal. They're human just like us. They make mistakes just like we do. But remember that Paul has already said in Acts that the Holy Spirit's made them overseers. And these are the qualities that we look for and we need to see in our shepherds. So our shepherds live up to that standard, and we ourselves, if we want to serve God to the highest degree, this is the standard we need to set also for our daily living. We thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you continue to study along with us through the books of the New Testament. I'm Ray Reynolds. Thank you so much for tuning in to On Point.